Okay, hey, so this is AD in Prague. It's a beautiful fucking place. I was hoping to catch a tram come out, but I don't think we're gonna catch it. Oh, there's one down there. Or it might be going that way. But anyway, yeah, we're here. This is gonna be a new series called RedPill Travels by AD. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk around the center of Prague. I don't know. Can we get more of a picture? This is Palladium Centrum right here. It's this this beautiful mall in the center of Prague, man. And like I said in older videos, like down here, a big difference is that because one viewer wanted me to respond on the difference between being in Kiev and then being in Prague, and one difference that I found is that as I'm talking now, there's somebody here who understands completely what I'm saying, okay? And it's one of those things you just have to realize it and know. I mean, they may not feel comfortable speaking English to you, but, I'm sorry, they may not feel comfortable speaking English to you, but they can fully understand English a lot of the time. So that was one difference. When I was in Kiev, like, motherfuckers didn't speak English, like, at all. It was like talking to, damn near, aliens over there. Like, if you don't speak Russian or Ukrainian, like, the motherfuckers don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a bus. Everybody got buses. But yeah. Oh, another big thing. I don't know where you guys are located. Hey, let's go over here to these scooters.
Here's the tram.
Oh, there's the tram. It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I just want to catch this trend for you guys, because in the States, unless you live in New York City or California, you don't see trams a lot. And now the traffic's kind of slowed down because coronavirus just fucked everything up. So, but yeah, so we got lucky. We caught one coming up now. This is number 8. This is actually the one I caught here. But yeah, it's like I'm proud of the tram system, and maybe y'all don't give a fuck, but I love it. So yeah, this is it. And it's very reliable. The public transportation here is, I'd say it's either equal to or better than, it's either equal to or better than New York City. Like, you can completely rely on it. You can totally rely on it. So yeah, let's get these scooters, man, because I want to talk about these scooters too. These scooters are like fucking great. Now, I had a better time with them in Kiev, because Kiev, I think, is more kind of built for the scooter game than Prague, but like I definitely highly recommend renting a scooter, for sure, definitely. So, yeah, with that being said, let's just kind of walk a bit. So we're old. You know how to get.
Okay,
I'll just do all this later. You know how to get the old.
Again, welcome to RedPill Travels. This is definitely my first go at this type of format. So, of course, the first go is always going to be the roughest.
No.
So yeah, I don't know if anybody's watching this has ever actually been to Prague, but the first thing you'll notice in the center, it's relative to how it usually is, especially in the warm weather. It's really a ghost town down there now. Down there. This is the center. I don't live in the center. I live maybe about 10 minutes away, in a straight path type of thing. But what you'll notice, this is relatively a ghost town to how it usually is, especially down here. This is like the center. And also what you'll notice is as we keep going, a lot of the shops are closed. Like this where I'm walking now to the left of me, like all of this was open 8 months ago. All of this was open and was thriving like 8 months ago. It really didn't take long for this place to start getting shut down. This on the right of me, this is a very beautiful hotel. All this this area was thriving with just cash flow that just got killed, man. Like, coronavirus really did kill a lot of business. Now, what's coming up to the left of me here, this is an antique store. I actually went in there a few times. They have good prices, but something I didn't know about antiques was this. Those antique stores are just making bank, because what happens is, my girl used to work in one, and she told me what they do. I had no idea this is how they make money in those places. They pretty much just wait for old people to die, and then get permission to go in and just take, all the old relics and shit and take it into a shop and sell it for $400 a piece. It's really it really is just, it's a free fucking source of income. This right here is Powder Castle. I learned later, I didn't know when we were filming it, that this, because I don't pay attention to a lot of history. It's just me, like certain history facts I just don't pay attention to. But what I found out was that castle, what you would call it, that was where they used to sell gunpowder. From what I was told back in the old days, like 200 years ago type of thing. But yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to touch on is a common a question that keeps coming up. It's like how do you move out the country? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. Moving out the country is a pretty difficult fucking task. It really, like, because I remember when Donald Trump became president, it was that whole thing of, everybody, like, again, look at this. All this is a ghost town. From how it usually is here, this is a ghost town due to coronavirus. But yeah, back to what I was saying about the moving thing. I mean, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing it, but it, especially if you lived in the U.S. all your life, like, it really is like a pretty difficult challenge to start with. It really is. Because unless your parents were born in the other country, that way you can, unless one of your parents was born in another country, and then by that way you'll legally be able to obtain a passport from that country and your home country. You're going to either have to get, the easiest way is just to get married. Okay, that's just the reality of it. The easiest way to move to another country is just to get, you're going to have to marry or get into a spousal relationship with someone. But the thing is, it's so ridiculous. Like, if you want to go the spousal visa route, like, those requirements are so ridiculous. Like, everybody's going to lie at some point about it. So don't be afraid of that shit. Like, everybody's going to have to lie at some point because the spousal requirements are just so ridiculous. I think that's really a part of the test, is to see if someone would just vouch for you. But this shop on the right of me right here, there was a candy shop. I don't know if you've seen the barrels. That's a scam. Well, pretty much when you're in the center, most of this shit is going to be a scam. And I don't mean to like slander, bro. It's the same with every capital city. When you're in a center like this, all these places are just tourist trap scams. And the prices are, 2 times too high. Even then, the prices aren't horrible, but it's just what it is. It's not only Prague. It's every capital city is like this. But yeah, to move to another country, man. Like, the whole process is different. Just finding an apartment is different. Because if you're in the U.S., you know how you find an apartment in the U.S. You just go to the rental office, right? You go to the rental office. You ask if there's a 1-bedroom available, 2-bedroom available. They say yes, no, whatever the fuck. And then, you just, pay a deposit and you wait for it to get ready. Well, in Czech Republic, every flat has its own owner. So you have to contact that one. First off, that one owner may not speak English. Most time they don't. And then a lot of times they don't want to rent to foreigners, because the reality of it is when they rent to foreigners is this. You're a foreigner. So you can just get up and just leave whenever the fuck you feel like it and don't pay rent and tear up the place. And let's say you rent a flat from a guy and you just decide to tear up the flat and fly back home. Well, the money and time and effort it would take for him to go find you and sue you and all that shit is just not going to be worth it. And he's stuck with fixing your shit. Now, I mean, obviously, I've never done it because, I've always had places to live. I've always had my own flat when I lived in Czech Republic. Well, let me say, when I first came, I moved in with my first wife. I moved into her place. Oh, right here, real quick. This is a wax museum. And they had the most incredible wax, sculptures. That was Forrest Gump in that window, if you didn't, get it. I don't want to rewind it and go back on it. So if you want to go back and see, it was Forrest Gump in the window. And I don't know who that was standing up. I've never been in that wax museum, but I heard it's amazing. But yeah, back to moving here, man. It's a challenge. It's not going to be easy. And I'm primarily speaking for Americans. Because we as Americans, we don't realize how easy we have it. You see, we really do have it pretty fucking easy. As far as how things move, how things go, things are pretty much spoon fed to us. Whereas that was a big difference for me coming to Europe. Was things are not spoon fed to you. You have to go. You have to make moves and make shit happen. And even then, motherfuckers they may not fuck with you because you're American, or they may not fuck with you because you're black, or they may not fuck with you because whatever the fuck. You never know. You never know why somebody's not gonna fuck with you. So the best thing is just to not pay attention and just keep moving in life, man. Don't dwell on why somebody may not have liked you, why somebody may not have want to talk, whatever the fuck. You see. And this to the right, I always forget what this shit is called, man. But it's like a cathedral. There's a lot of beautiful cathedrals in Prague, man. That was one thing I missed when I went to Ukraine. Kiev is built more like an American high metropolitan area than a European one. Because that was one thing I missed when I was in Kiev was you don't find another thing. Notice how it's all this cobblestone shit. Now this is actually a more well-made cobblestone path. Usually they're if you go back earlier in the video, those are legit cobblestones. So that's why I don't wear a lot of dress shoes in the city, in the center. But back to the cathedral thing. The cathedral thing. That's like Prague. The artwork in Prague. Like right now, they're doing all this reconstruction because it's a great time to do reconstruction. Nobody's there. It's a great time to just fix all the fucked up shit that was breaking and shit. So you're gonna see a lot of construction in this clip. But yeah. So this is Old Town Square in Prague right now. Very beautiful area, and like I said, again, this is a complete fucking ghost town compared to what it usually is. And anybody's been to Prague, this area. It usually there would be no way we could walk with a camera like this freely, like in a normal time, in Old Town Square. It's a beautiful area, man. Like the artwork is amazing. So right now I'm walking up to this fucking clock. I always forget the names of these clocks and shit, man. I'm getting ready to explain it poorly, but you're gonna see it, and you can always just Google clock in Prague, and you'll see it. It should just Google big clock Old Town Square Prague or something like that, and you'll see this exact clock. I think it has a history of being the first big handmade clock in the world or in Europe. I don't know the fucking history, man. I just go to places and look at shit, but I appreciate the art. So yeah, I'm walking up to it now. But see, notice all these cobblestone. Your feet, it would just kill my feet walking. And nobody else is wearing dress shoes either. Everybody's wearing some type of tennis shoe. Because cobblestones, man, they're beautiful. But honestly, I don't like the cobblestone shit. So here we are, here at this clock. We're coming up to the clock now.
Can you see how? Okay, so this clock, I'm not even gonna act like I know what it is because I don't know what it is. Something about it's the first man-made clock or some shit like that. I don't know the history behind it. I'm awful with certain parts of history, right? I don't pay attention to a lot of history. So this is one thing I just happen not to pay a lot of attention to. But this clock is a beautiful fucking clock. And one thing you guys will notice is it's not a lot of people. So for anybody who's been to Prague, you would know it's usually tons of people walking in this motherfucker, right? But now, relatively to how it usually is, it's a ghost town now. Coronavirus is just fucking shit up. But even with coronavirus fucking shit up, it's a beautiful fucking place. It really is. Like I said, I don't know the significance. I don't know all the history of this clock, but I wanted to show you guys this clock because it always comes up everywhere. Whenever you talk about Prague, this clock always comes up. And you know the history behind this? No? Okay, yeah, because I don't know the history behind it either. But this is beautiful too. So I want you guys to see this. This castle thing of, with the two things on it. And I guess we can walk over here real fast. And then we'll sit down and talk. So, this was put up, it was actually put up not long ago. Another thing you guys may notice is for those of you who have been to Prague, there used to be a lot of street performers, people playing piano and shit like that. A dude walking around in a big ass bear suit. They used to have all that, but they made it illegal now, so all those people had to leave. So it's really, with that in combination with coronavirus, just doing what it does, it's really quieted the area down. It's still nonetheless a beautiful area. It's a beautiful place to see, especially if you've never seen it before. Highly recommend coming to see Prague, man, for multiple reasons. The price of beer is at a great price and it tastes great. If you like styles and fashion shit like that, you're gonna love it. Trust me, man. But so this, like I said, this was erected maybe about 6 months, ago, something like that. It hasn't been here long. Now that statue over there, let's get closer because this is actually a beautiful statue. It has a lot of detail in it, and I love art with detail. Even though I can't remember anybody's names or who made it, I appreciate the effort that was put into it. this always catches my attention every time I walk down Prague. It always catches. Every time I walk down, I always have to look at this. I always have to take at least a good minute just to look at all the details, all the serious. See, that's one thing that I do really love about Europe is this, man. Like, they really do, man. Their art is really next level. Like, it's completely next level from anything that, like, because I'm from the U.S. So, like, in the U.S., we, like, our artwork it doesn't even compete with this shit. Like, their basic artwork is just, like killing ours. But, yeah. So, I guess, yeah, we'll start right here with two questions. Am I really close to the camera now? Or am I far away? Okay. So, one question somebody wanted me to answer was the issue of social awkwardness. Okay, and this is one of those things where, okay, you remember in the movie Avengers, where when the Hulk came back, it was the first Avengers movie, and this big ass monster was coming at him, and then Captain America said, like, this looks about time for you to get angry, and he goes, no, like, this is my secret, I'm always angry, and he just turns to the Hulk like that and punches that motherfucker. Social awkwardness is like that once you figure out how to beat it. Like, at the core of it, you have to understand that everybody's awkward. Nobody is leading, right? Like, nobody really knows what to do. You see, that's a secret that your boss at your work, at your job won't tell you, your parents won't tell you. Like, your parents, they know. If you really ask them, like, they knew, they didn't know. Nobody really, like, people really don't know what they're doing. They just kind of fake it and go along in life, and then, become developed, and then other people talk themselves into thinking that, that leader knows what they're doing. That leader doesn't know what they're doing, okay? I'll tell you that from first-hand experience. But with social awkwardness, so the next step is this. A part of what makes social awkwardness, like, it can really wear you down, is this. I'm gonna say this kind of shitty, but it's the honest truth. Is because you're paying too much attention to yourself. Okay, it's like all that shit from Star Wars and what Yoda used to say and all that shit. Like, that shit was real, man. Like all these things that, like, it can sound hurtful, and it can sound like, kind of backwards, but it's the truth. Like, with a lot of social awkwardness, when you learn to not pay yourself so much attention, that's when you start to see that, like, there's no reason to really care about it. You see, like, because it's like the thing, like, when you care too much about yourself, other people see it, and then it's like then it makes you kind of awkward. Now, sometimes it can work out for the best. Like, you see a beautiful girl, she cares a lot about herself. Well, like I say in many of my videos, a woman just has to be woman to sell. So, like, everything else is just an addition onto that, and it could be slightly better, slightly worse. But in the end, a woman can. But see, men, we have to learn so much more to sell properly. We have to learn how to be comfortable. We have to learn how to be charming. We have to learn how to be witty. We have to learn how to be intelligent, maybe mixed with a slight bit of arrogance and, a little bit of being conceited. We have to learn so many more things, whereas, like, women, for the most part, woman just has to walk around as woman, and somebody's going to come along and, somebody's going to come along and offer her something just because she is what she is, which is going into another topic. Somebody else wanted me to go on and speak about the topic of how women, I may be loosely quoting this, but how women can't see that they're just naturally beautiful, and then they kind of, like, end up destroying themselves from, like, surgeries and makeups and shit like that. Because you got to remember, man, at the core, like, their whole thing is to compete with other women. So, like, all that makeup and shit that they do, I mean, it's for you if you like it as a man, but it's really, like, it's kind of difficult to explain, but they're really competing, like, with themselves, kind of thing. It's kind of the same thing, like, we used to play video games when you were a kid or something like that, and you guys, like, we thought we were cool because we were the best one at it. And, girls didn't give a fuck about that shit, but we knew other guys did. So if we felt like number one, then we were, like, the king of video games, and that meant that, a woman should like us because we were king of video games. But it didn't never work like that. It's kind of the same thing the other way around. But like I said, women get that added benefit because they are a woman, you see. So, like, that in itself just sells by itself. They don't really need to do it. So, like, they really can't see the full depth of why
what is that makeup and dressing super nice is not really needed for men. But then that goes into another topic of how I talk about on Darcy in a lot of my videos, how see, because a lot of women, they'll fall into it and they won't get out because they'll get this morphed mind that, well, if I buy Dolce & Gabbana, if I buy, all these expensive brand names, that a man who can actually afford this will come along and keep paying for this in my life. So you have, there's different ways it plays out, man. But that's about it. I'm gonna let you guys go. But yeah, so definitely comment on what you liked, what you didn't like about this. This is definitely gonna be a new format I'm gonna try out. So yeah, comment about what you like, what you didn't like, and we just move on from there. But yeah, I'm out.